in just a bit. Let's go to the visuals first. Arunima is joining us live. Siddhant Mishra is also joining us live. Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Assam Chief Minister, has just reached North Block. Arunima with the details. Yes, Arunima, this peace pact is historic. It's huge because earlier this year, if I remember correctly, in January, there were about nearly 250 of these insurgents who had laid down their arms in the presence of HBS, that is Himanta Biswa Sarma himself.
Yes, and since then, their cadres, thousands in numbers, have been living in police camps. So today's signing of the tripartite agreement will not just help bring them into mainstream, but also usher in a new era of peace. At least that's what mediators, representatives of the Adivasi community hope for. Himanta Biswa Sarma has arrived here at North Block. The other delegation members are also here. So any moment now, you will start getting visuals from the national broadcaster of that tripartite agreement being signed. Now, which are these groups which are part of this accord that is being signed? All Adivasi National Liberation Army, Adivasi Cobra Militants of Assam, Birsa Commando Force, Santhal Tiger Force and Adivasi People's Army. So these are the main players, and we have seen, if you go back to 2012, if you go back to 1996, Assam has been plagued by constant riots, constant tussles between the Bodos and the Adivasis. In that backdrop, this accord, again to quote the Adivasi representatives who are here, this is not just giving them right to life, but also giving them a right to economically secure life. Their demand for the scheduled tribe status could also be accepted when the details of the accord are made public. And there are, of course, details which will be made public soon about steps that Government of India, Government of Assam are going to take for economic development of this community. So they feel their long pending demand has finally been accepted by the government, and in that sense, this is a historic day today.
True, and these people have been, the Adivasis largely have been living in separate camps, and with the laying down of arms, some of the promises which would be done, we've just highlighted some of the aspects before I go back to Arunima and Siddhant there. The government will sign this peace deal, like Arunima was saying, with 5 main militant groups. They're all Adivasi groups, Vanvasi groups. There are about 3 breakaway factions from these 5 main groups, so that's why some reports say 8, but we are going with 5. Historic peace agreement, because this is after the ceasefire deal with the government, and there has been the effort for nearly a decade now. Since 2012, the process has begun. The peace pact with all Vanavasis and with all, so the National Liberation Army peace pact with the Cobra Militants of Assam, with the Birsa Commando Force, with the Santhal Tiger Force, and of course with the Adivasi People's Army. These were the 5 groups which even Arunima highlighted. We'll try and go across to Siddhant in just a bit. I'm just going to check if he's through with us. But Arunima, what are the kind of promises that have been made? You said there will be a special consideration or recognition of these Vanvasi groups. Will they be also promised some extension into the mainstream, foray into the mainstream? What were largely the key demands for these people? Why did they take to insurgency?
See, the main demand from what I've gathered after speaking to their representatives who have arrived here is that ST status, the status of scheduled tribes. Of course, we know that when you're recognized as a scheduled tribe, there are economic benefits that come with it, there are reservation benefits that come with it, and therefore they were looking at an economically secure life. They were also looking at right to life itself. There have been repeated clashes starting from 1996 up until 2012 in which Bodos have clashed with Adivasis, and therefore their life itself was under threat. Their children were not getting economic prosperity, and they wanted that. They wanted that kind of stability. In these rounds of negotiations, again, one of the mediators told me that in previous governments, there was no much headway that was made. But given the political dynamics of Northeast, currently the Assam Chief Minister himself, a Union Home Minister here, Amit Shah, and the other Northeastern state Chief Ministers, they have all made it their mission, because Prime Minister also has a great focus on Northeast, to bring peace and stability. So they were willing to walk the extra mile, willing to concede if an extra step could bring peace and stability to that region. And I think when the details of the accord are made public, at least 2 of these demands the Adivasi representatives are hoping will be accepted. A, demand for recognition as scheduled tribe. B, greater development for them economically, as well as to ensure that there are no more clashes, they don't lose their lives like they have in previous clashes with the Bodos.
Right, Arunima, do stay on with us. I also have Professor Dr. Janendra Burman with us. Janendra Burman ji is the Assistant Professor, Cotton University in Guwahati. Let me ask you, Professor Janendra Burman, is the aspect of the fact that indigenous people felt threatened, their lands were being encroached, this conversion mafia, along with, of course, the internecine clashes which happened. Did they all contribute to these groups taking to militancy, taking to insurgency? And how significant is this peace agreement today?
Yes, actually, it is a new day. I would call it a new day for Assam and for entire Northeast, because Assam and entire Northeast, once known for its militancy violence, now has come to known for peace and development. A new era has dawned in entire Northeast with peace and development taking place. And yes, as you have rightly pointed out, so many factors worked behind the rise of militant activities in Northeast India. Especially some missionary activities also instigated the conversion mafia, as you have rightly pointed out. And along with this, the sense of alienation. That sense of alienation actually, the gap went on increasing. And the illegal immigrant problem, that because the threat to identity, all these issues actually culminated and took the part of arms, part of violence. Now, since 2016, for the last few years, we have seen many positive development. Earlier, the Alpha, Assam's largest militant group, Alpha Group's leaders were handed over to Assam, and now negotiation is going on. And my inputs tell me, and I'm happy to share with you, that a positive development with Alpha is also taking place, and within 2-3 months, there may be some agreement with Alpha as well, and that will be another milestone as far as peace and development of entire Northeast India is concerned.
Well, it is significant. Then, Professor Burman, please stay with us. At 6 p.m., Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Assam Chief Minister, is also going to meet his Arunachal counterpart to sort out border issues. Let's go across to Arunima back again. Arunima, I believe you have one of the mediators with us. So let's ask him and try and understand what has been discussed and what makes this peace agreement.
Right, Dr. Andrew is here with me. So you've been part of this mediation process for long. Everybody is calling this day historic. But help our viewers understand, why is this day historic? What is it that the Adivasi community has been demanding, which was not met, which forced them to take up arms?
Actually, there's so many issues. Adivasis, we don't have only single issues. There's issues of development, there's issues of ethnic class, and there's so many. Right. So at least this government is taking some initiative to understand. They had long discussion with those people, and we are satisfied with that. That's why this arms group they have came up with we after this MOU, Memorandum of Settlement. I think a lot of things will come up for the Adivasi community.
But one thing that you were demanding was a scheduled tribe status. Yeah. That is something that has been time and again made public.
No, that is it's not only the these people's issues, everybody's issues, and the government they have Minister of Government of India, they have assured us that these things will continue as soon as possible. They will pick up, because already that is in the Rajya Sabha. As
far as peace is concerned, are you hopeful that for your children, for the next generation, peace?
Yes, very much we are hopeful.
So help our viewers understand in a minute's conversation, if you can, the history of Bodo-Adivasi conflict. Not many people know what happened in 1996. Yeah. Not many people know what happened in 2012. In that backdrop, if you can help us understand how life is going to change.
No, we don't want to remember now those things, because now we're thinking different. It's a misunderstanding between two communities. And we don't want to remember. Now we're living together for the peace.
That is one takeaway, isn't it? Yeah. Earlier there were clashes, but accord has been signed with those who picked up arms on behalf of Bodos. Accord has been signed to ensure that the Adivasis are also brought back to the mainstream. Yeah. So Assam is turning over a new page?
Yes, definitely. And we have a very strong Chief Minister. He's very positive. He understands our issues. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was one of the mediators, Dr. Andrew. He's been part of the mediation process, Anand. And he's right. Expecting the details of the accord to be made public very soon. But two important points. One, peace through economic development, which could come with that ST tag, ST recognition.